The first punch landed just as the school bell's echo faded into the afternoon air. Books spilled across the concrete, a backpack skidded, and a circle of laughter closed in around a black boy who hadn't even learned how to raise his fists yet. He tasted dust and fear at the same time, while the boy standing over him spat a word meant to shrink him. None of them knew that the man who would soon step onto that pavement was the city's police chief and his father. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're rewatching from. I love knowing who's listening. Malik Carter was 12, small for his age and careful in the way kids become when they learn the world can be sharp. He loved science class and hated recess. He counted steps home because numbers were safer than people. That day, he'd stayed late to finish a project, the hallway quieting into long shadows as teachers locked doors. By the time he crossed the gate, the sun sat low and orange, and the playground smelled like warm metal and chalk dust. They'd been waiting. 2 boys at first, then 3. The ringleader, taller, louder, blocked Malik's path with a grin that wasn't friendly. Questions came fast and mocking, accusations without cause. Malik tried to step around them. He always tried to avoid trouble. The shove came anyway. Then the punch. Then laughter, brittle and loud, like breaking twigs. Malik curled inward, arms over his head, heart hammering so hard it blurred his hearing. He thought of his dad's voice that morning, calm and steady, reminding him to stand tall. He wondered if he should fight back. He wondered if it would make things worse. She thought she'd never see him again. He was wrong, though. The thought wasn't hers to claim. A few kids watched from a distance, frozen by fear or uncertainty. Someone whispered to stop. Someone else filmed. The air felt thick, cicadas buzzing like they were shouting for help Malik couldn't give himself. Then a siren cut the afternoon, not screaming, just a single, controlled chirp. Tires crunched on gravel. A black sedan rolled to a stop beyond the gate. The circle faltered. Daniel Carter stepped out, uniform crisp, posture unmistakable. He'd left the precinct early after a call from a neighbor, vague, worried. One look at the scene, and his chest tightened. For half a heartbeat, he was only a father seeing his child on the ground. For the next, he was the police chief, responsibility settling over him like armor. "Step back," he said, not loud, certain. The boys froze. The ringleader scoffed, bravado flickering. "He started it," he said, pointing at Malik. Daniel didn't rise to the bait. He knelt instead, the concrete cool under his palm, and met his son's eyes. Malik's hands trembled. Daniel placed a steadying hand on his shoulder, felt the shaking slow. "Are you hurt?" he asked softly. Malik swallowed and shook his head. The crowd's murmurs rippled outward. Phones dipped. Someone recognized the badge. Someone else whispered his name. Daniel stood. The wind lifted dust across the pavement, sunlight catching it like suspended stars. "Everyone stay where you are," he said. Officers arrived in measured steps, movements practiced and calm, documenting, separating, asking questions that cut through lies without raising voices. The moral weight hung heavy when Daniel faced the ringleader. The boys' parents arrived breathless, anger and fear tangling in their faces. The easy choice would have been to make an example. The hard one was to make a lesson. "This is serious," Daniel said, voice even. "Assault is serious. Words can be weapons too." He paused, letting the silence do its work. Accountability matters, so does change. Consequences follow drill ones. Reports filed, mandatory counseling, community service, apologies that sounded rehearsed at first, then cracked into something closer to honest. The watching kids shifted, some nodding, some wiping eyes. A teacher clutched her chest and exhaled. When it was over, the playground felt different, quieter, like it had learned a rule it should have known all along. Daniel walked Malik home as the sun dipped behind rooftops. Malik carried his books again, spine a little straighter. "I didn't fight," he said, uncertainty threading his voice. Daniel smiled, pride softening his eyes. "You stood," he said. "That counts, 'cause kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back." And where laughter once sharpened into harm, a steadier sound took its place, the hush of understanding settling like evening light. If this story moved you, share your thoughts below. Subscribe for more powerful human stories. And remember, when courage shows up with compassion, it changes everything.